All right, thanks, Rachel. Hey, Do and Monte Cristo here, Brazil versus Canada. As the desk mentioned, Monty, it's a battle for pride. Neither of these guys going on after this match here, but a chance to at least look good before it's all over.
Yeah, pick something up. Should be interesting. I've been really enjoying watching Soul Life play on the Genji and the Hanzo so far this week, and we'll have to see. Canada's had their own struggles trying to play around Poke's Genji at first, then saying, no, Poke, you're playing the Zarya, Surefour's playing the Genji. So it's been a bit of a mix-up. Canada has struggled to find the right roles for their players.
That's right. So Dorado, Temple of Anubis, and then if we need it, Lijiang Tower once again as we move into our second match of the day here on the Overwatch World Cup. And this could be a fun one. Again, I mean, neither of these teams moving on, and I say, put everybody on whoever they want to play, and I mean we could see anything in this best of three.
We actually could see anything right now, but I think we are still going to see these teams trying. There is pride on the line at the very least.
We'll see.
We shall see.
See, but the thing is that pride that comes from winning or from showing off, from having some fun. Because remember, we've got people like Poke, I mean, he's working on, the pro gaming career, but he's still a pretty popular streamer right now. So it's a chance to entertain as well.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to set up with a bird's eye view right now. Brazil will be coming in on the defense here, and it looks like a pretty standard setup for them so far.
Not too standard for Canada, though. Poke
not yet.
On the Bastion at the moment.
Hey, we have seen offensive Bastions so far in this tournament, though. We've seen it from USA. Though. We've seen it, we've seen it from Korea. Maybe on matches that were a little bit more one-sided.
Dorado, though, is the surprise there. You don't see it a lot on this map, but we'll see what they decide to do. Rolf over on the Mercy now. They could just be trying to, keep that Bastion up and alive.
No, gotta switch over to Lucio.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, Rolf, now on the Lucio, and Poke on the Genji. Oh, come on, guys. All right, so getting all serious here on Dorado as Canada switches over to a more normal team composition. Rolf will go on the Mercy, though.
That's interesting. This has been their bread and butter. Surefour on the McCree and Poke on the Genji, but now they're going to switch it back up. So on day one, they tried to play around Poke with Surefour calling when he was going to be going in with the Zarya shields with that Dragon Blade. Then they said, okay, Poke, you're going to be actually shielding up Surefour's Genji instead, and they're going to get up to the high ground immediately. ID already up there with the Pharah so far, a Mercy combo. They're going to try this flank. They did this before.
Yeah, very
against
tricky
Sweden.
Here.
Exact same play. It didn't work out because Sweden rushed them in the front line.
Yeah, Brazil should realize.
Now they've got a much better angle. Brazil is not pushing out beyond the arch, and this should be good.
Reflect onto the flashbang, actually. Surefour needing to back off, though, as he takes some damage. And Canada's flank not working out maybe as well as they would hope. Poke and Logan DeBesso getting a couple kills, and Surefour, despite getting low, manages to keep it together, and Canada's going to push this payload.
Yeah, and that is exactly what they were trying to do the last time. So we saw Canada play on Dorado. They came out and tried to flank around the back. Sweden read it, though. Poke was too far forward. They just rushed him and killed him and then turned back to deal with the flankers. That time, though, Brazil falls for the trap, even though they have actually seen it in this group. And that means that they take advantage of the hesitation, and they're going to keep moving forward. But there's the Blizzard coming in from next stage, and they're going to stop the payload. ID gets a big barrage, but Sleep Dart going to cut that one off.
Yeah, but not before it does a little bit of work here. Canada sticking in it, and it looks like Surefour might be able to slash his way through to the point, and yeah, I think they got it.
Yep, they did res from Mercy, so Rolf able to just turn the tides of that fight eventually. Not enough time, and then, of course, the Dragon Blade is going to clean that one up. So a lot of ultimates used right there, but Soul Live gonna fall down to Surefour, and the high ground control of Canada is absolutely huge right now. It's going to be a slow push out onto the bridge from Brazil. That means this payload's going to get a lot of room to move, Doa.
Yeah, Surefour. I know the studio lights are bright, man, but they're not that bright. But hey, Genji kills look even cooler if you're wearing sunglasses, so I think it's fine.
There you go.
He's on the high ground. Canada, see what they can do. There's a sound barrier. Brazil going aggressive here, but they caught up in the Graviton surge right away as ID comes in with that nano boost. No kills yet, though, as the team just kind of skirmishing. Kaio going deep. See if he can grab anything with his own nano boost now. And yeah, Canada forced back for the moment. Kills on Surefour, kills on basically everybody. And that looked good for Canada, but in the end, Brazil bringing it back with their own nano boost on the Reinhardt, and they'll take the fight.
They did, but it was such a big commitment, though. That's the thing. Solive had just switched over to the Genji, so they didn't have the nano, or the Dragon Blade rather, to nano boost. So they end up expending 3 ultimates. Canada drops a couple of their own, but it should be a pretty powerful push coming through here for Canada. Big ult economy advantage.
Well, ID's got the barrage up again, so we'll be looking for an opportunity there. Has to be careful, of course, rather. And he's just going to use it. Never mind. Don't need to be careful. You can just come in from behind. There's the Mercy Res, keeping everybody from Canada up. And the Dragon Blade now onto Surefour as he tries to help Canada push his payload. Gets knocked down by the Earth Shatter, though. Gets back up. Doesn't get killed. And Brazil, I mean, right now for that fight, just kind of seemed like ults were coming out here and there. No real coordination. Easy fight for Canada. Nice reflect at the end. Genji v Genji.
Well, Solive maybe just overcommitting with the Dragon Blade right there at the end. Again, it was another fight where they rezzed straight into a Dragon Blade coming through from Surefour.
Yeah.
Surefour going to switch over to the McCree right now, so trying to deal with the backline threat that the Genji from Brazil is going to be using. And now, Graviton Surge combined with a few far rockets.
Yeah, but it's next stage that gets the first kill here as ID has to back away. So Canada not able to really put too much together with that. Looks like Brazil's going to push him back for the moment. And that payload's in a bit of an awkward spot. Once the team gets time to set up on the defense there, it's hard to kind of come around the corner as offense. You see what Canada has in mind. They've got the nano boost combo with the Reinhardt at least.
Yeah, Poke actually going to swap over to the Genji now, so they're back to Surefour on the McCree, Poke on the Genji, trying to at least match that backline threat with a Genji of their own.
Insanity's got to pick on the ID. That's really going to slow Canada down. About 2 minutes left.
That is
some time. Oh, I don't know if that's the correct time for a nano boost. I think that might have just been fat-fingered by Brazil there.
Yeah, Canada with the coordination, they fall back immediately upon seeing the nano boost. And even if the Reinhardt had charged forward right there, he would have been isolated from his team pretty heavily. So that is a huge waste of an Ana ultimate.
Surefour just dueling with the Genji on the other side. There's a Graviton Surge for Brazil now, but they don't have the nano boost to pair with it. They're going to drop the sound barrier as Canada tries to stay alive in this one, but Brazil's got just enough maybe. We'll see if Huck can turn it around with that Earth Shatter. Canada still looking like they're struggling here, and yeah, Brazil's going to hold the payload again for a little while. Wow. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween indeed, Noah. We're seeing a lot of sloppy ultimate usage here. Huck dropping the Earth Shatter after a couple of members of his team were already dead. No hope for a turnaround right there. And yeah, I guess the reapening is happening, but Brazil is running down the clock pretty quickly. They don't have any ults to work with, and still we could see Surefour with the nano boosted Deadeye.
Yep.
They're going to try a different route up onto the high ground behind the church.
Well, Deadeye protected, well, until he jumped down anyway, not getting anybody with it. Surefour kind of on his own here. He has the nano boost, trying to do some damage to Zarya on the other side. Poke, no, not doing a whole lot. Poke actually down next stage. Surefour gets one for himself. It's kind of a spread out brawl right now, but all of this is letting Canada push the payload a little bit farther, so things turning out not too bad. As Solive goes down, Canada looks like they're in position. Once they take out Kaio to take point B, he gets the Earth Shatter, but he's so low health that, yeah, easy kill by Logan DeBest on that Ana. And they're going to get point B.
That's the second throwaway nano boost by Insanities from Brazil onto the Reinhardt Kaio. So it's just they consistently put themselves behind in the old game because they're using them way too late in these fights. And that's got to be something they need to change here on this final push, especially since they could have had the Nano Blade combo for Solive had they just held on to the Nano Boost.
I mean, it seems like Brazil's biggest issue throughout this whole tournament so far is hitting the panic button a little bit too quickly, being a bit too trigger happy on some of those ultimates. See if the Deadeye gets anything for Surefour here as he drops down looking for one. Finds Solive. That's a big pick as Canada tries to push forward to the end of Dorado here, going after Flaws now, and he's going to get taken down. Poke pulls out the Dragon Blade, goes for the fleck, gets a little bit of damage. Rolf taken on the back line, so Canada loses one, but overall it's looking pretty good. Poke gets a Dragon Blade again as he goes in. There's a Graviton Surge. Surefour with two, and I think this is going to be all she wrote for Brazil, at least on defense here on Dorado. Canada takes it with a minute remaining.
That was some solid play by Canada at the end, especially Surefour. They knew the Dragon Blade was up. The initial pick goes down onto Solive just with the Deadeye before he could use his own ultimate, and from there, good plan. Get the Graviton Surge up into the upper hallway where they are trying to use a high ground advantage, and then just combo that with Poke's Dragon Blade, make it easy to clean him up.
As we check out this replay here in Flaws, one of the better fights for Brazil, and what I noticed really was that when Brazil fought together, they tended to win. But the thing is Canada generally only had to fight 2 or 3 of them at a time.
I think, yeah, and that's it. And Brazil, it was about the, okay, well, we're going to see 25-3 here for Surefour, no surprise, had an outstanding game.
64% weapon accuracy is pretty impressive.
Pretty damn good for a McCree. But when we saw Brazil, they would continue to fight instead of falling back after getting one of their players picked off. And not only that, but they would double down. They would invest a lot of ultimates. And
Sombra.
The communication not very clear within the team. So perhaps they can do a little bit better on offense this time. Canada going to be going straight back to what we've been pretty accustomed to seeing from them. Although no Zarya here with the Genji, so you're not going to have the projected barrier to protect Poke. I think Poke might be going back and switching to Zarya here.
Maybe. Do you have any sick Sombra clues for us, Monty? Any ones and zeros you want to toss out there?
Bromas is an anagram of Sombra.
You're right. Bromas has all the answers. We need to get that guy from Spain back in here.
The key is in his play.
Ooh. Back and watch those replays. Wow, I didn't expect you to actually have anything, but you did. Oh, the plot thickens. Well, Brazil on offense here. Let's see what they can do. Bromas knew all along. Future Sombra main incoming. Let's see if Canada can defend here as they take a little bit more of an aggressive stance on the high ground here. Solive getting a couple good shots off with that Hanzo early on.
Yeah, pretty simple push here, so standard defense. And Poke, I think it's smart to go ahead and switch back up to the Zarya. Playing without a Zarya with the Genji would have some anti-synergy, especially if we saw Brazil come in with the McCree. Would make it very difficult for him to get into the back lines and actually survive.
Yeah, so you push the payload this far, and then most teams group up and go around the left side and try to come in through that hallway. But we've seen Brazil just kind of try to bum rush their way through the middle, and that is pretty hard to do. As you can see, Surefour already picking up some kills.
And you definitely can't do that against a Mei, dog. You definitely can't do that against a Mei. So nice isolation wall there. From ID, makes it easy to get that pick, and then they have the long-range damage from the Mei right clicks and the McCree to go ahead and finish that one off. So
Surefour getting a little bit low before the heals came in. He's already got his Deadeye ready to go. It's very much an alive eye at this point.
Yeah, he's got all the room in the world to work with, Doa.
Yeah.
There isn't any backline threat for Brazil, so I think that's not how you play against Team Canada. You need to pressure Surefour in some way. And actually, he died from a fire strike.
Well, he got hooked at the same time, too, I believe. So it's kind of the combination that gave Brazil the pick they needed to push through the entryway. It's the hardest part for point A. That's right, Graviton Surge comes in. Flaws nearly has that ultimate, but they're just going to toss the Dragon Strike in, and that is the combo that Brazil was looking for, and that should be a pretty easy point A take now.
Yeah, I guess Surefour got hooked at the beginning there. I didn't see it myself, but huge pickoff right at the start. Canada, they got 6 ults, though. They're going to have time to capture the high ground while these doors slowly and painfully open. So the setup should be good here to defend, but yeah, this is the Dragon Hole combo coming through. Zarya ultimate straight into an unblockable Dragon Strike, and that will wipe up most of Team Canada. But here we are. Setup is good for them.
Canada on the high ground, like you'd expect. ID down on the bottom. Surefour just looking for some shots on the outside. Still has that Deadeye ready to go if he decides to use it. Sounds like a Graviton Surge was used over on the side of, well, there's a Blizzard actually coming down for Canada, too. Whoa! It's suddenly, it's hero juggling as ID has to put up the wall to block that whole hog. Gonna go down after Lucio now. Goodbye, Edu. That's a kill for Canada, as it looks like they're going to be able to hold the payload for the moment.
Yeah, they are. And fortunately for Canada, they started out just using the 2 ultimates, Blizzard and the Graviton Surge. Then they committed a little bit more with the sound barrier. They are actually going to back off right now and try and retake the high ground, prepare themselves for the next push.
Man, but I don't know how McCree rolls upstairs. That looks really painful, actually.
Just head right into the edge of the stair.
Man. I don't want to do that.
Maybe he has a steel plate in his head.
I would not be surprised. He's got like a metal arm. If I was going to somersault the
Poke
stairs,
actually
I'd
gets
do that.
right there. Hooked in, doesn't die, and Huck with the nano boost on him.
Yeah, that's right. And he's got an opportunity here for the Earth Shatter a little bit later. Gets a kill onto Flaws. No shield breaking him. There's a nice Earth Shatter like we knew would come in against Team Brazil. And Canada continues to hold for the moment. He gets pushed back. a little bit as Kaio comes in, but it looks like with that Blizzard, Canada should be able to finish off this team fight and hold for a few more seconds.
Huck played that really well.
Yeah, he did.
Just holding on to his Earth Shatter for as long as he could, gets the initial pick off onto the Roadhog, and then waits to go ahead and finish it off. Now they're going to charge back and head back up to the high ground so they can continue to control. So this is a really good hold so far for Canada. They've actually successfully won the ult economy game for the majority of this point so far. Had 6 coming in, so that's to be expected. It was going to be a hard couple of minutes for Brazil, but now we're all back to even except for the Sound Barrier ID going to get hooked, but has the Ice Block.
Well, immediately Poke had the shield ready to go. He had the Ice Block as well. Poke has that Graviton Surge if he wants to use it, and there it is. Rolf pops the Sound Barrier. Graviton Surges on both sides, which means usually no follow-up for either team. Canada has to pull back just a bit as Kaio gets that nano boost on the Reinhardt, going after Poke, who's getting a bit low. Nice sleep dart on the Kaio for the moment, just slowing him enough for Canada to reposition. It looks like they're going to be able to win yet another fight here.
Yeah, and this is the discipline coming through ahead for Canada again. That was another nano boost from Insanities that did not have to go out right there. They had already lost the fight, and instead, Logan the Best, he sits back, holds on to his, so they will have that advantage for the next fight. So the nano boosting has not been great for Brazil here on map number 1, and that's giving Canada just so many more tools to work with.
Surefour ready to Deadeye if he wants to. See if Soul Live can get anything done on this Genji here, but they're going to drop down. There's the wall, and he's going to toss a Blizzard right on top of them as well. Nice catch by Canada right off the bat. Kaio in trouble, not taking a huge amount of damage. Nope, that's enough. And Canada, again with the hold, looks like this is kind of the place they've been able to find a lot of success in the defense. And Brazil's having a really hard time pushing it any farther. With a minute left, looks like Dorado's probably going to Canada.
Yeah, that was all ID set up too. Wall off the tank line, immediately throw the Blizzard down. Again, hold on to the nano boost. That's what you want. Rolf is also very close to getting a Sound Barrier right now, so they've managed to just win ult by ult here against Brazil, and we're almost even in that regard once again. This is Brazil's do or die moment.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are 0-2, but just watching their play earlier, Canada's certainly looking a bit better. Soul Live with a bit of desperation. He does have the Sound Barrier, but it's not enough to keep him up. Canada going back in. They want to stop this right here, right now. Flaws goes down, and it looks like Canada with yet another defense as Brazil kind of scattered. No real coordinated attack here for the blue team, and there goes Insanities. But the defense for Canada looking pretty sane.
Well, and Soul Live going to switch over to the McCree right now, use the Nano Blade, but there wasn't, or the Dragon Blade, but there wasn't a Nano Boost in that last fight, because the synergy between Soul Live and Insanities has been a bit off this map. And Canada, they've got so much crowd control, Earth Shatter, and as well as the Blizzard, everything going to get tossed on top right now.
Yeah, that's about it. The Graviton Blizzard and ID with 2 kills already, but look at this, Flaws pushing by himself, trying to do what he can on that Roadhog, and yeah, he's got a lot of health, but with the 3v1, he's not going to last too long, and that should be it. Overtime bar ticking away, and I don't think anyone's going to get back to the payload in time. Looks like Dorado is all Canada's.
Yeah, Canada going to take that one, shaping up as the match went on. We saw much better ult usage on the defense and towards the end of their offensive run, but Brazil, they've got to get better with the coordination. Brazil has been most successful when dumping all the resources into Soul Live, and that's what they got to keep doing. Need to get the nano boosts on point there.
That's right. So while we give the teams a bit of time to regroup for our next map, let's sit down with Poke and see what he's got to say about the week so far.
Hi, I'm Poke. I'll be representing Team Canada. I'll be playing Flex, and when I started playing this game, I never thought I'd be a competitive player on a team. I thought, just have fun and see where I can go streaming it. I just want to learn, I just want to go back home better and be able to tell people on my stream how to play better too. We're just super excited to show up and play it and have fun, and results are secondary for me personally. I just want to make my country proud. I've been a gamer my whole life. I've always wanted to be a pro, and if this goes well, I think I might go for it.
Well, Poke making his country proud here so far in their match against Brazil. The Game 1 win on Dorado looked, frankly, pretty easy for these guys, didn't it?
Yeah, after the initial struggles, I think they started to play more like a team, but it was a bit of a gimme in a lot of ways because of They were sort of donated an ult economy advantage on many points on the map. So
I mean, it's like we were talking about. Brazil just never really seemed to send everybody at once in a fight. It was like 3 people, maybe 4 here and there. They had a couple good team fights where everyone was kind of throwing all the ultimates in at once, but for the most part, it was just kind of streaming in one by one and giving Canada the easy kills. So now we move to Temple of Anubis, our assault map here in this best of 3. And we'll see if Brazil can get any sort of momentum going to try to come back and force Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's us. We're huge.
Yeah, that is.
Our names are gigantic.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if Brazil can make those adjustments, if they can say, all right, Insanities, you are holding the nano boost. We're using it on Soul Live. He's the one who's going to be calling the shots.
You know, the sarcophagus there just looks kind of pouty. It's like,
Also, why is there a sarcophagus so obviously in front of the temple? Usually, they would sort of hide those in multi-ton stone boxes so that they wouldn't actually get the gold stolen. It's kind of important. It was always stolen anyway, though.
Instead of a sarcophagus, that's right. It was kind of a swagcophagus there. He's like, I want everybody to check out my sarcophagus.
I'm pretty sure all sarcophagi are swagcophagi.
That's true, but it seems a shame, you know, to not display them.
Last year, I was in Cairo at the Egyptian Museum and looking at all the Tutankhamun artifacts.
Yeah. And
his sarcophagus is 80 kilograms of gold. I've never seen more gold in my life, though.
You want one of those?
It was pretty swag. I can only hope.
The Monte Cristo pyramid. Would you like a pyramid or a mausoleum someday, like some?
Can't I choose some other, form? I'd like a giant tower. How about that?
I would like a giant obelisk on the moon.
There you go.
Buried underneath that, just to confuse future generations. Yep, that would be awesome. That's what I'd go with. I guess in Overwatch, though, there's already a bunch of hyper-intelligent gorillas up there, so.
Well, you can join your family then.
Oh man, I set myself up for that. Why did you do that to me? Why did I do that to me? Well, we'll put yours on Uranus.
Oh, okay.
Well, here we go. Brazil on the attack on Temple of Anubis. Canada trying to defend, and Rolf on the Zenyatta. Not something we've seen a whole lot this tournament. We'll see how well he manages with that. ID jumping down with the Reaper. Going after the Zarya for the moment, getting after Wraith form though as the pressure comes in, and Rolf gets the kill on the next stage. And that Zenyatta can be very good. I feel like I say this every time we see a Zenyatta. That's just because I'm a Zenyatta main. Zenyatta's good, guys. He's maybe not so good all the time, but he's still good.
Nano boost for just okay. Flaws is still here. Looked like it was just for the Lucio coming back, but ID going to clean it up. Surefour actually got picked off very early in that fight by Soul Live on the Widowmaker. Brazil thought they had an opportunity to go in, but unfortunately cleaned up in the hallways there on the left side. And the focus fire, pretty brutal once you get that Orb of Deception down, and ID is in your face with a couple of shotguns. Especially with someone the size of a Roadhog. We're going to try again. Winston coming out.
Yeah, trying to create some space for Soul Live. Meanwhile, things getting a little bit crazy. Looks like Disco Fever in there as the Transcendence is popped. Rolf has to back away, though, but it's going to be a successful fight for Canada. And they will dance their way to success. Yeah. And yeah, the Zenyatta, pretty good against the Widowmaker. If she can't hit you.
If she can't hit you. I think
she can't hit you. Well,
if you're hiding, yeah.
Here's the thing, is you never wanted to try to, go toe-to-toe with the Widowmaker before because she could kill you with a body shot. But now things are a little bit better for Zenyatta. You've at least got a chance.
Well, you also had Surefour on the McCree, so you had that long range.
Sure.
But they are going to have to switch it up. Soul Live now over to the Genji. Surefour actually moving to the Mei, so very low range composition right now from Canada that they've swapped over to, but great at controlling the point. And here we go again. ID going to get rolling, but he gets hooked.
Yeah, but he doesn't use his ultimate before that, so a little bit of an early hook, in fact, as, I feel like Brazil was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there, because if he hadn't have hooked him, he would have just wrecked him with left clicks. If they had hooked him, then he just uses the ult afterwards. So either way, you're in trouble here.
Well, also look at this. They saved the nano boost. They were trying not to nano boost him right there.
Yeah.
But as soon as they see him, Logan sees him gets hooked, that's when he knows that he needs the extra damage and, more important, the 50% damage reduction to survive that. Pop the nano boost, then commit the ultimate. And I think as we watch these maps, Canada is getting better and better to reacting on the fly to when they need to use the ultimates. Waiting, not pre-committing, and then just making that reactive play so that they can just maintain the ultimate economy advantage that they've had for the match.
That's right. Brazil trying to come in from left side here, going to that narrow choke yet again, gets the hook. Oh, but it's on the Zarya, and he's going to get pinned immediately. Huck going deep here as Brazil tries to make something out of this push, and they've got it, man. 45 seconds left. Canada's going to go ahead and drop the Blizzard, and that's going to be another one fight against the red team, and things are looking pretty bad for Brazil's prospects of even taking point A here on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, and the nano boosted Genji just couldn't do anything once the Mei Blizzard fell, got frozen. They turned their sights forward to the unfrozen members of Brazil, knowing they had time to just come back, sleep dart onto Soul Live right afterwards, and easily focus down with the Orb of Discord.
Yep. Wolf's been playing really well in the Zenyatta. It's actually been working out great. Soul Live coming in on the Genji now. This is where things get a little bit nerve-wracking for Zenyatta. But nice, he gets him the kick to the head and the orb, finishing things off. And Brazil in dire straits now. They're going to drop the sound barrier as they come in with a last-ditch effort. They got a lot of time on the point, actually. ID, low health, taken out before he gets a chance to make anything happen with that Death Blossom. And Surefour on his own on that Mei. And I don't think it's going to last too long. And it looks like Brazil manages to finally take point A here on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, Soul Live, even though he went down early, got enough distraction in that back line to push them off. And now Canada gonna have to respawn right here. They have stabilized. They still are in a good position. Huge ultimate advantage. So Brazil, it's gonna take them a few minutes if they're gonna get this point at all.
Oh, they've got some time. I mean, you get 4 minutes with that. So Brazil's not in bad shape either. IT going in right away with that Death Blossom, getting 3 kills, getting 4 kills, even with the hook. It's hard to stop that nano boost.
How many times are we gonna watch this?
A lot, probably. I think that's gonna happen a lot.
The evil cackle from ID.
Happy Halloween.
Is that your Happy Halloween Reaper impression?
I guess so, I don't know.
Yeah, not even using skins in this tournament, so can't
Halloween
even see.
is every day for Reaper.
Can't even see the I don't know, Sleepy Hollow Reaper.
No, I guess not. No, only regular old skins in this one. Oh, here we go. Graviton Surge and ID setting himself up for another emote here. Let's see if he does it. Looking good. One more kill. Is it time to emote? There we go, Kaio. And oh, I'm so disappointed.
He only emotes after Death Blossoming.
Yeah, but like, he did plenty of work there too. I mean, you can emote.
The setup was very good for him.
Yeah.
Poke had a good Graviton Surge, and ID going to be setting up for another big Death Blossom play.
Yep, and what do you do?
I guess we're going to watch this again. This is not very exciting, but...
This is, you know how you do this. It's very mechanically difficult. You walk forward with W, and then you hold down left click.
Yeah. Well, ID is currently sitting at 32 eliminations and 1 death so far.
Oh, the hidden Huck. Found out as Flaws pops a whole hog. He's not going to last too long, though, and Brazil already using one of their tanks as they go for the engage here. They're going to get Huck. Kills coming in on either side here. Oh, hammers flying through the air from both sides, but in the end, Brazil having a little bit of a hard time pushing any farther. Huck back up again now, so they're going to have that Reinhardt to keep the defense going. And with only the Earthshatter available at the moment, I think Brazil should back off until they have a couple more ults.
Well, it's gonna be a long time. Canada's 4 up. They nearly have 6 up, though. This is Canada has had plenty of advantages. This should be a stronghold. There may only be a minute or still a minute 45 left, I should say. But this kind of edge is pretty enormous.
Yeah.
Flaws still working up, and this next attack is going to be basically the time that Brazil has to actually make something work here. Well, they basically have to win the 6v6 ult battle.
Canada's been doing a really good job, too, of only using the ults they need here on point B especially. They've been very conservative with the ult usage, and it's paid off. They always have something available when they need it.
All right, so they are going to fall back. Sleep Dart going to miss it. Here we go right away. That is not a good Beyblade.
No, it doesn't work out too well, but the Blizzard helps sustain Canada as they fight back against Brazil, who comes back in. Soul Live trying to do some work on this McCree, but Poke taken out even at that low health, and Canada will defend. Had to use nearly everything there after the Beyblade didn't work out too much in the first place. That Reaper not getting a ton of kills, but looks like it turned out okay after all.
Yeah, Huck with the Fire Strike finisher. Man, Canada, I think they lucked out a little bit. Brazil was not actually there on the bridge, so their vision was cut off for Canada by a Mei wall, and they overcommitted to a position where, it was their own Mei wall. They overcommitted to a position with that Death Blossom where Brazil just wasn't, and they still managed to win.
That's very friendly.
Poke actually talked a lot about him this tournament, maybe underperforming, but on this map, he's 28 eliminations to 1.
Yeah.
So having a fantastic kill-to-death ratio.
I would say so. ID's been looking great on that Reaper, of course, as well. And this is it. I mean, Brazil has no ults, but they've got to try to make something happen here. They took point A at the last minute. Can they do it point B? Probably not with that Graviton Surge, even though the Reaper does get very low. He stays alive for the moment. Transcendence used by Rolf to keep everybody up for the moment. And Brazil down a couple men already as they try to take point B. It's not going to work. And with that nano boost on Huck, that's going to do it. And Canada holds strong on point B here.
That's right. Yes, they do. So they will have a chance now. We'll see if Canada can go on the offensive, complete the map, and turn this into a 2-0 series. Get nothing on the line here for Canada. Absolutely nothing. They are already out of this tournament, as is Brazil. But at the very least, they can put a point on the board.
Well, ID was just left clicking and wrecking all match long so far. And that Reaper really doing a ton of work.
Yeah, 38-3, as you can see, eliminations. Wow. Very nice. So he was one of the big catalysts, even though that death blossom at the end was not the greatest. He hit many more over the course of the first half, I should say, of Anubis.
You know, when I look at Reaper's mask, I like to pretend his nose hole is actually just a silly smile.
Is that what you do? Is that
can't unsee?
Is that what you do to make yourself a little bit happier, Doa, when he's in your face shooting you with shotguns?
He's just got that silly smile. He's like, hey, that makes it creepier actually. Well, not as creepy as May's smile. Whenever
nothing is as creepy as May's
to the other
smile.
team. Wow. I mean, I think it's looking like, you know, sometimes in movies they have that plot where the environmentalist decides that the best way to save the planet is to kill all human life. I feel like that's the way May's character is going. She's so gleeful about putting icicles through people's heads.
That's right. Well, that would do a lot to stop global warming, killing all the people, Doa.
Yeah, I would say so. But see, May is one of the people that wants to do that. I'm not a fan of that philosophy, personally.
I'm pretty apathetic.
Are you really?
About the destruction of the human race.
You're going to have your sarcophagus on Uranus or whatever, so you'll be okay. You'll be way off planet by that point.
Well, I mean, I figure if I'm dead, then it doesn't matter if anybody else is alive. That's my philosophy.
It's good to know. That's very grim. Wow. Way to bring down the mood of the cast there.
No, I mean, you know this. I only care about me. It's fine.
All we are is dust in the wind. Canada with the offense now. And again, in this meaningless match where nobody's going to BlizzCon anyway. But it's all for pride. Rolf still on that Zenyatta, which I love to see. Hashtag complete bias. Poke on the Widowmaker this time around, trying to find some targets here.
He's finding a lot of Reinhardt's shield. Everybody going to zip behind it.
It's a dangerous jump for Yidu there.
Oh!
Kill on the next stage before he goes down. Solive getting the kill, but not in time to save his teammates. Meanwhile, that allows Canada to get all the way around on the side here. This is going to be an interesting fight as they drop down.
And ID actually going to pick up Solive. That's huge. It was just a distraction, Widowmaker, Doa.
It was, indeed. And Huck gets the pin onto somebody there, actually. Then he gets pinned. Everyone's just pinning each other here. Yeah. ID on the point, though, and it looks like Canada should be able to take this one pretty smoothly. Yeah,
Yidu going to get taken out. And wow, they really bit into that Widowmaker. Everybody was running behind the Reinhardt shield on the high ground to avoid the Widowmaker shots. And he still managed to get the kill on the next stage. Sure, he died, but everybody in Canada was getting the position. And we didn't see it, but Surefour somehow got a nice flank there onto Solive, or ID rather, on the Reaper, got a flank into Solive, and now, yes, this is where you want to change off. Poke going to go to the Genji instead.
Yep.
Widowmaker not too useful on point number 2.
All right, well, everybody knows where that Reaper's going to be hiding at this point. Surefour taking a couple pot shots at him as they move in to try to come around the left side, it looks like. Deadeye available, of course. Brazil, not a lot of ultimates. Flaws is going to be pretty close to his Graviton Surge. Might have that up before the fight. Probably will during the fight. Canada's got a couple to use themselves, though. Yeah, it's 3 ults, but Insanities gets his up now. So you see this push here. What can Surefour do? And that's not going to be a nice start with the Earth Shatter. Oh boy, Huck goes down right away. ID knocked out of the way, but takes a bit of damage. There's a Transcendence. We'll see if it can make a difference here. Surefour gets a couple kills, but it looks like Brazil holding strong for the moment. They are losing a couple, though. Solive comes in, has the Dragon Blade, doesn't need to use it, does need to use it, actually. Comes out, it's Blade versus Blade as Poke runs away, losing the Genji war, and for now, Brazil will hold.
Wow, that was a huge investment from Canada. I have to say, I think the transcendence from Rolf there was just a little bit late. Yeah, Brazil's going to have to commit to the Diva. That was also maybe a bit too soon. But they do pull a lot of the ultimates out, so they make it work. And now we're going to see Poke and Logan DeBest. Can they combo up here for another push forward? But Canada came into that with a lot of advantages, but the initial pick by Brazil allowed Brazil just to roll them up. You have to get that first pick on offense here. You've got to get that first player down, because otherwise the spawn is just too close. It becomes incredibly difficult to push through afterward.
You know, I thought we would see Flaws maybe switch back to the Zarya after that fight, because that generally is a little bit more useful hero with the defense. They're going to actually send in ID, it looks like, or no, they're going to send in next stage with that nano boost. We'll see what he can get done with it. Well, meanwhile, Poke just kills everybody, so that helps out.
I mean, everybody on the side is already dead, though, so this guy's got to actually stop this. And that's a great reflect.
One-man army, man.
That is a great reflect onto the Reaper. He's going to actually finish this up. Wow, it looks so bad for Canada. He's going to die now.
Yeah, well, let's watch the replay and then see what happens after that. Next stage, just getting the back lines, walking through Team Canada.
You know how we saw that really nice flank versus Spain, or from Spain versus Sweden in our last match? That was a super delayed flank from Canada right there. Basically, one of their flanks got collapsed on by the members of Brazil, and so 4 people were already dead by the time that nano boost came through onto the Genji. So yeah, it cleaned up the fight, but respawn timers are faster, so it makes it easy to deal with that situation if you are Brazil. You have to have a much better communication and execution from Canada if you want that to be a success.
Yep, all right, and ultimate may be used. Not quite sure if sound barrier there onto Brazil as Canada uses the Transcendence to try to keep people up. ID with a couple kills, Huck rather, on the point by himself as Solive tries to fight back, but it looks like Canada's finally going to get some time here on point B. Next stage in there, just delaying as much as he possibly can before he goes down. Here comes a Lucio. There goes Edu.
Sherfor just hit the shots right there.
He was ready.
And that's going to be blocked off.
Yep.
So nobody dying, and Rolf actually going to pick up Flaws right as he comes out of that mech, so no actual reset on the Diva back.
That's big, actually. Surefour backing away. He's got the Deadeye to zone. 1 tick already for Team Canada as they keep fighting this extended fight. Poke did get taken out, but Surefour just hard carrying right now. There's a flashbang. I believe that got absorbed by the defense matrix, but it didn't stop him from picking up the kills. Meanwhile, oh, wow. All right, well, that didn't work out. Kyle came in, tried to go for the pin, didn't get it. And Canada just seems like they can handle as much as Brazil can throw at him at this point.
And this is where Zenyatta really shines, Stoa, is when people are trickling in one by one. It makes it so much faster with the Discord Orb just to take out target after target after target. And you see Rolf moving it around. The team is calling targets very nicely right now. And yeah, it's going to be a slow grind, but eventually Canada should be able to take this.
They should get it. And with this take, they will win the match. And Canada finally getting a match win here in their 3rd one. They will 2-0 Brazil.
Nicely played by them. So push on through in the end. Some of those transcendences were a bit shaky, but in the end, having that Zenyatta when everybody is walking in single file proves to be a very fast way to end some of these chaotic assault maps.
Well, Zenyatta, you know, provides that extra damage too, which a lot of teams, you know, might not be ready for if they're not expecting it. You really need to be careful because we saw him get a good amount of kills too, and I think the first one was off, but that second one, that second Transcendence really did some work. So it is time to send it back over to the analyst desk, and we will see what they've got to say about that match between Canada and Brazil.
Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Doa. Guys, that was a pretty quick match there, so let's stick to just the most important features of it. Oh, sorry.
I just can't believe that Canada got away with this win despite Huck being the weakling.
Oh, you're just a mean guy. A mean guy. He played well.
Well, you know, as long as I'm not perceived as an ass, I think I'm good.
Listen,
you know,
he played well. You know, Canada, I feel like when they lost their match against Spain, it kind of like soured like their just whole team morale. It's like, well, now we know we have to beat Sweden. They did feel great about going into that match. But, you know, right there, you saw Canada like play a little bit up to their potential. I feel like they had some role issues this entire time.
They had fun in this matchup. Yep. That's what I want to point out. Surefour with the glasses on, you know, he was having a blast.
Surefour came in. I think for him the idea was at least have a little bit of style as they go out. And you saw them walking off the stage. They were in good spirits at the very least. They had a better day here today. They looked better. And, yeah, they won't be going to BlizzCon weekend, but at least they got this as one accomplishment.
It's a consolation prize. They get a win here against Brazil, right? I mean, you know, ID goes 59-6 there. on that map. So
That's
I mean,
kind of great.
solid.
That's
it's
amazing.
a pretty solid performance. I know you saw some good things out of Poke. You know, he talked about a little bit. Maybe he wants to try and make this like a professional career, like on top of the streaming. Maybe he kind of keeps moving into that. You know, Huck working with a lot of teams. So I think Canada has a lot in the future that's going to go well for him.
Yeah, and for Canada, again, you take a look at the players that are involved. Surefour, of course, probably would have liked to have gone a little bit further, but still did a good showing all throughout the days here, even in the games and series that Canada lost. So I think for Surefour, you can take a look at and say, wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and Poke had some good moments, as you pointed out, Matt. And I think that's kind of what brought Canada together here in their win. That just ID made plays, Poke made plays. It was just not Surefour hitting those shots, and that made them take a 2-0 victory.
And I think Canada, looking back on it, they never would have put Surefour on Zarya the beginning of this thing. I think if they could go back and redo the Spain match, like he doesn't play any Zarya at all. They just let Poke play Zarya. And who knows? I mean, it may be a completely different story. I mean, imagine in a world where like Canada beats Spain, Spain then goes and beats Sweden. Like then you're looking at a crazy scenario in this group.
That would have been insane.
Well, the matches today still have the potential for insanity. We've got 6 left, so much ahead, so we'll be right back with more Overwatch.